What's up, gang? Welcome to But What Do I Know with Joe. I'm Joe. If you're new here, welcome in, and if not, welcome back. Thank you for joining me as we recap, relive, and otherwise get into, and we have a lot to get into, Phish's performance at Madison Square Garden, New York. This is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. So, Madison Square Garden. This is night one of a 5-night run that they're doing at the Garden in the midst of a ridiculously awesome summer tour, which is cool in and of itself. Tonight is also the 92nd time Phish has played at Madison Square Garden. So as the story goes, the intention is to play songs that were released or were debuted in 1992 or before. What say we talk about this? I have taken the liberty of writing the set list out over here. I think that's definitely going to help the conversation as we've got a lot to cover. So, moving on. Set number one, starting out with Glide. This is a great way to start the show. First night of 5 nights. It's pretty cool that they're going to bust something out immediately. And Glide is noteworthy, certainly tonight. This one, 225 shows that it was absent from the rotation. So the last time in 2021 at Shoreline, interestingly, I was at that show. They opened that show with Glide. It's such a special tune, and clearly doesn't get that much airtime. This was tons of fun. Was kind of hoping possibly maybe they would take this one out for a spin, but that was not meant to be. That was still cool. It was a standard issue, if you will, and but a lot of fun. Great way to start the show. So next up, Runaway Jim. The idea that they might have played a tune a couple of shows ago, none of that matters at all. Nobody cares. They don't care. They are going to play whatever the fuck they want, whenever they want, and we should definitely get used to it. So, Jim, next up in the 2 spot, and this was cool. Got everybody pumped up and cooking. It really stayed close to home, sort of a standard Jim, if you will. Didn't do a lot of exploring, and which it still made the most of it, did everything it could within the confines. It wasn't that long, around 7 minutes, so they jammed it out and brought it to a close. So moving forward, next up is Foam, and so I love Foam. Who doesn't love Foam, right? It also, like the Glide, was thinking maybe they would rip this one and just get out there. So this one was executed flawlessly. It was really wonderful, wonderfully played. It's always fun to hear. Did not take this one out, unfortunately, but still really cool to hear. Next up is Axilla, and this is standard Axilla. I guess part 1, but not it's just called Axilla. So the OG, and so you notice when they kicked into the different lyrics. This one this was 82 shows in Mondegreen is when they played this. So it's been a minute. Now that one they played with the part 2 ending. This one in particular did not. They just went through Axilla proper and brought it to a close. So super cool to see some of these old school gems that you really don't see that frequently. So next up, Stash. You do see that, thankfully, and tonight was no different. This was really cool. They really hadn't taken off yet, so we're really expecting Stash to start carrying some of the water, if not all of it. And this was cool. It maintained the Stash groove initially for a minute, but then departed from that, and at that point just took off and reached this upbeat part, and it just didn't really. It kept going, just really driving. Just moving, constant. They were raging. It just ripped it up. There are times. I mean, they worked it up. It was mayhem and madness. Just crazy jams and crazy build-ups, especially towards the end and everything, and dropping back in and finishing the song. So really cool. They jammed it out. It was 13 minutes or so. So, you know, not excessively long, but certainly time for them to inflict some damage. So, all right, after Stash, a little shuffling around on stage and Trey behind the drums, and Cold as Ice, just straight up, Cold as Ice into Love You, into Hold Your Head Up. So this is a throwback to days gone by. Oh, and to point out too, if you hadn't seen, Trey was dressed in his muscle tee shirt, or a muscle t-shirt like he would have worn, no, it was the same one, but back in the day. And I think Mike had on the Reebok pumps or something to that effect. So yeah, it was all old school for sure. So this is cool. You know, back in the day, in my early show going days, it wasn't that crazy to see a Cracklin' Rosie or this or Purple Rain or something. But this is kind of an oddity, a novelty, if you will, which is pretty cool. So Cold as Ice, so last time played in 1992, so 1,468 shows. It was only about 35 seconds long, but still, they played Cold as Ice. Love You, it's been 382 shows since 2016, and then Hold Your Head Up, 135 shows, 2023. So anyhow, that was fairly quick, pretty cool. Fishman with the vacuum solo during Love You, so. Anyhow, they wrapped it up. Places, everyone, places. And moving on to Sparkle. Now, much like Glide and Foam, was kind of hoping Sparkle would be the one. They would take a left turn and just go out four-wheeling. And that wasn't going to happen tonight either. This was cool. It was standard. It was awesome. It was so fun. Excellent execution, just nailed it. So Sparkle, there you go, and then that stops, and then they start up AC/DC Bag. So Bag was I was kind of thinking like Stash just needed to start carrying some of the weight, if you will. And so they didn't really waste any time. They went through Bag, the tune, they going through the groove, latched onto something and just kept with it. And this. It stayed on the Bag Jam for a while, but then it just took off. It changed and you know, took a turn or whatever, and just took off and launched. This flowed from theme to theme, just effortlessly from one to another, and just grooved out for a while. So this hadn't really been happening. Stash certainly was the only other time. So you know, other than that, there's a lot of more theatrical feel, if you will. But this was definitely they started exploring a bit, and in the end it was in this what I would call this like mechanical madness, just tones and sounds going off, and that just morphed and changed into Reba. So AC/DC Bag, Reba, kind of an old school combo, deep into the set, which was interesting, and you know, I assumed this would close the set. Wasn't really looking at the clock. None of these tunes were really that long though. Stash and then the Bag, again, 12 minutes. So they move into Reba. So they're moving through Reba. It's love this tune. It's as beautiful as always. They're straight up, just an observation. There was a bit of a hiccup in the chase sequence, and the chase part got a little bit. Let's say there really wasn't much. It started, but then it sort of stopped, and then in the end they just just Trey jumped on and they finished the second part together. So not that it really matters. And after that, it was business as usual. They built this up so beautiful, built it up as they always do, and brought it to a crescendo. It was really nice. Interestingly, tonight did not finish with the whistling. They skipped that part. And immediately went right into David Bowie. So you hear the hi-hat going, and you know that's okay. There you go. So we're off to David Bowie. So this got started, did not last that long, and you hear this sound, this tone, and then Trey comes on and starts talking he wants to get everyone in tune and to saturate everyone with the vibration of life. which is pretty cool. So Vibration of Life, by the way, 1996, 1,027 shows since they've dusted this guy off. That's for fuck's sake, man. This is they're digging in. I mean, come on, that's pretty cool. And so anyhow, they go through that, and Trey's point was that it's working if it's tingling your inner sanctum. Now, I don't know exactly what what area he's referencing, because maybe it's different on all of us. I do think I felt something. I know I did. Again, not certain if it lines up, but a tingling in your inner sanctum is what we're looking for. And side note, it's worth watching this. There'd probably be a clip. Chris, Trey asking Chris to turn the lights off because it just doesn't happen. He has to ask like 7 times, and it gets funnier each time. He's asking out loud. Anyhow, it's pretty cool. Trey also mentioned that they were contracting out the Vibration of Life and had assisted the Knicks, apparently, using that with before practice and whatnot. Anyhow, this didn't last that long, 3 minutes or so, the Vibration of Life down here, and then right back into Bowie, and of course on with the show. So not to drag that out, Bowie was Bowie. It was ripping. They nailed the song itself, the composed part. The jam was awesome, super intense, and brought this set to a triumphant close. So this was a solid first set. Really cool stuff here. Again, a lot of you have a number of tunes, old school tunes as well. Now played, many of them concise and good, played so well. But ones I was kind of hoping they'd be a jam, but a lot of tunes obviously, and a bit of theatrics in there too. So set break, take a bit of a rest, and we are going to get started on set number 2. Mike's song straight out of the gate for the second set. This is shaping up to be a good night thus far. So starting strong yet again. They have a tendency to do that. But this was no different. Sounded tight. It was just awesome. We knew we were in for a hell of a ride. Mike's get going, and they get into the groove, and they incorporate the trampolines into Mike's, which is pretty cool. So that's going. The guys are right out front doing that. Interestingly enough, the first time I ever saw Phish in '94, they brought a trampoline out during Mike's song. It was just for O'Teal, but still, perhaps there's some sort of continuity there. I think they might have done this back in the day, more frequently at least. So they rolled into Mike's song, and this is absolutely sick. They really rocked this out, and they were in and out of sort of the Mike's groove, if you will, initially, of course, and then kind of deviated from that. And it was just hitting hard, like really hard, super aggressive jams, and then it brightened up, yet there was still this aggressiveness. So it just really, really incredibly cool to see that, just like kicking your ass, and you were loving it. It was great, and that's really intense jams throughout. It truly, this was over 15 minutes. They rocked it out pretty good, and went to some really incredible peaks towards the end, which were super cool, and just solid all the way around. Ending the song on the trampolines as well, which is pretty cool. So Mike's ends and slows down, drifting assumingly into hydrogen, and this gets going. And as it is going, this is happening. Trey and Mike opt to lay down on the front of the stage with their heads pointing towards the crowd, facing up, of course, and playing. And that's where they played Hydrogen, because why not? So Mike's Hydrogen, solid start. Trey and Mike on the ground, staring up at the ceiling, playing Hydrogen. And the whole time, their feet were like miming a bicycle or bicycle kicking or whatever. The whole time. So yeah, Hydrogen, and that's that. So anyhow, all right. And then Weekapaug is next. So okay, here we go. They did stand up for Weekapaug and stop at the pedaling. So yeah, Mike's Hydrogen and Groove, solid starts. Groove is rock solid. There's nothing out of the ordinary of this one. It was amped up and just yeah, got everybody going. A lot of fun for sure. And really sick. Just strong ends to this first chunk of music. So yeah, that ends and nice start. And what starts next? Right into bouncing. And of course, my thoughts were, man, I sure hope they take this out there. And I'm certain everyone was thinking the same thing. Absolutely wondering, if this is going to be a standard type thing that they do. And in bouncing, certainly for me, it's those descending notes that at the right towards the theoretical end, where Trey and Paige are just they're just falling over, and then it usually just stops. But this one, you reach that point where they keep going and keep descending, and you realize it's like, man, we're not going to the normal place. They're going to take us somewhere else. It's going to be really fucking cool. And yeah, and those notes, that just the way they were descending and just falling and continuing, and it was like a waterfall, and like we're all going over, and you're in some sort of river or whatever, and now you can see the rapids up ahead, and where there's just the meandering of the jam that just goes from one area to another. It was absolutely awesome, just really cool. This it clocked in. I was close to 18 minutes. It was incredibly cool. Just wonderful, beautiful spots. Some dark areas and just tons of exploration. It was unreal. 15 or so minutes in, Mike brings the lyrics back, and there's points where it was dark bouncing, which is what's like, where did that come from? So anyhow, bouncing, and that flows right into my friend, and so we are off to a rolling start. So my friend is I just love that song, and they killed it in the song. That guitar buildup is just nuts, and they get into the jam, and it's just solid, aggressive, and there's some spacey darkness to it. At one point, they're doing this got a knife jam, just screaming got a knife, as they are just, the intensity is just mounting. It's there were parts of this especially that had this like deep space exploration, just super spacey, and it traveled far. It did not disappoint. This was a really cool just run, the Mike's Groove and then these two together. So, and then my friend just dissolves right into Split Open. Mike just sneaks right in with the bass line. That is again, that happened in previous shows too. The segues have been off the charts, and this is no exception. So we're in Split Open and Melt. This is really cool. It got into what I would call this experimental spaciness, sort of anything goes toy chest of just man, we'll put this on top of it. Let's see what happens. Why not? It was in many instances just so out there. Jesus, it was. I would definitely dub this high quality space for sure, without any doubt. It is out there. It's worth checking out for sure. And again, when you look at where we came and going the bounce, and then my friend into Melt, that was really cool. They actually did come back and finish the jam. So Melt ends, and I'm thinking, time frame, we should probably be getting close. I wasn't watching the clock. Should probably start doing that. So they start Lizards, and I'm thinking, well, this will probably end the set, and maybe they'll jam it out like before. So this was, Lizards was awesome. I can only imagine what it's like to be in Madison Square Garden one of these days, maybe, and hear Trey's, the silence over the crowd. It seemed really cool when he's playing that, the lead to that. And just as I've heard it sounds really nice in that room. So anyhow, I digress. Lizards. This was not to be jammed out tonight. Alas, it was a standard awesome Lizards, and exceptionally played and just great, and a lot of fun as always. So Lizard stops, and then Harry Hood starts, and Harry Hood stops, and then Harry Hood starts again. We get the twofer start, and I don't know what, there's a timing issue for somebody, I don't know, it was pretty funny. But Harry Hood to close the set out. So Hood was cool. This was Hood stayed close to home and maintained the Hood structure, if you will. It was beautiful. They jammed it up and really worked it up into a frenzy, and it was just an incredible, cool, strong close to the set. Again, not much exploration in the hood, within the hood, but it was still strong. A nice way to close down, and that was just a solid chunk of music there for sure. So anyhow, into the second set, minor pause, and we are right back with the encores. So we start out with Horse. I started to write down Horse and then write out Silent, and I thought, let me just give it a minute, just in case. But yeah, tonight they were not dabbling with these, and this was your standard awesome Horse and the Silent in the Morning. It's always fun to see, especially if you happen to see it, the year before, right? But anyhow, that was pretty cool to get started. You knew something was coming next, and they ripped right into that big black furry Creatures from Mars. This is pretty cool. Now, this one is from 2024, 88 shows that this has been shelved. So it's been a hot minute, and they raged through this. Now, interestingly, they, before the last verse or whatever, they had a microphone adjustment for Trey and Mike. Mike opted to lay down on the ground, and then his mic was down to where he could play the bass laying down flat, and then the microphone was going right in front of his face. And then Trey stood, and his microphone went way up in the air and came down literally right in front. So he had to do this for this in order to. So they had that adjustment, and then played the last verse, whatever minute or so of the song. So that was Big Black Furry Creatures from Mars. So yeah, that's pretty cool. They finished that, and of course we're not quite done. So Antelope. And Antelope was Antelope. It was absolutely raging, incredibly powerful. Worked it up in insane chaos, and yeah, just a strong way to close down an otherwise fabulous show. And a nice run of encores as well. So that's the show. It's I do think this show has a decent bit of replay value, and the encore is the encore. This second set is really worth the price of admission for sure. The whole Mike's Groove, the bouncing, my friend, Melt, and even you could tack Lizards on it, but that bouncing, my friend, and Split Open and Melt in particular, that grouping, the set is really cool. The first set, there's some pockets. I definitely want to check that stash out again. The Bag Reba Bowie, that's pretty cool. Bag Reba Bowie, Vibration Life Bowie, that's awesome. I'll give everything another listen just to hear. There's a novelty effect. I don't know how frequently I would do that, but aside of that, this second set for sure. And I would say my but what do I know moment in this show is that bouncing for sure. That just was very special. Really cool stuff. Check it out if you haven't seen. And yeah, that's my assessment of Phish's performance, Madison Square Garden, July 22nd, 2026. But what do I know? So, this is night 1 of 5. Be sure to join me for assessments of nights 2 through 5 and then beyond. And we'll see how they stack up. Furthermore, tonight was the 92nd show. So in the description, I'll have the set list and times. I'll also add the original date that all of these were played. This is some old school shit for sure. So check it out. Our journey here is ended. Until next time.